Who would you rather be? A passive passenger on an active pilot in your own educational journey? Future change makers and curious minds. I have no doubts about what your answer would be. This is a central question that I explore in my book, Reimagining Indian Education. One of the most effective ways to allow learners to be active pilots in their own educational journey is through project-based learning. The crux of PBL or project-based learning lies not in the mere gathering of facts but in nurturing skills essential for the 21st century. These are skills you can't simply memorize, they must be lived, experienced and internalized through real-world application. Imagine classrooms transformed into dynamic workshops, brimming with ideas, creativity and exploration, much like a vibrant ecosystem teeming with life. This journey isn't about what we learn, it's about how we learn and apply it. Schools adopting PBL, like the Portfolio School or Acton schools across the world, or Fountainhead School right here, are pioneering a shift from the traditional model to one where learning is organic, driven by curiosity and intertwined with real-life applications. In today's rapidly evolving world, the chasm between traditional education and the skills required for the 21st century is becoming increasingly apparent. The current education system, often rigid and content-focused, is lagging behind the dynamic pace of societal and technological changes. This gap creates a disconnect, leaving students ill-prepared for real-world challenges. Consider, for example, a student who created a fashion collection called The Churning of the Ocean, based on the Hindu mythological story of Samudra Manthan. Now this, as contrasted with the traditional system, goes far beyond the confines of a traditional classroom, highlighting the limitations of our current system in fostering creativity, ownership and innovation. And these skills, these concepts are not just theoretical concepts but are essential life skills that our students desperately need. Our educational model, characterized by rote memorization and a content-heavy curriculum, fails to provide room for the development of skills crucial for navigating today's complex world. This deficiency is not just an academic shortfall, it represents a significant gap in a student's overall development and preparedness for life. Project-based learning, on the other hand, signifies a move from the traditional content-driven approach to a more engaging, skill-centric model. PBL is not just about learning facts, as I mentioned earlier, it's about creation, research and solving real-world problems, thereby equipping students with skills directly applicable to their future careers and life. At its heart, PBL is a paradigm shift, transforming education from a passive, listening-based model to an active, experiential process. This evolution is pivotal, recognizing that real-world skills, the ones that are truly indispensable, are not acquired through passive absorption, but through dynamic, hands-on involvement. PBL brings these vital skills to the forefront, making them the mainstay of education rather than an adjunct. In traditional education, students are like tourists on a guided bus tour, seeing the world through a window. PBL, on the other hand, turns them into explorers, trekking through the jungles of knowledge and climbing the mountains of innovation. In a PBL framework, learning is driven by students' own curiosity and their ambition to solve real-world problems, even if they may be small problems, things that they can see around them. It's about diving deep into topics that resonate with them, whether it's the science behind air properties or the complexities of human rights. Students embark on diverse projects driven by their interest, steered by educators who blend self-study, peer learning and direct instruction into a cohesive learning experience. This method cultivates a deep and meaningful engagement with subjects as well, instilling a sense of ownership and responsibility in their educational journey. Consider a project where a group of students built a telescope. This project wasn't just a lesson in astronomy, it was a multifaceted learning experience encompassing science, maths and design, as well as requiring transferable skills such as teamwork, problem solving, communication and so on. PBL also revolutionizes the traditional concept of grades and assessments. Schools that adopt PBL focus on the development and demonstration of skills evident in the diverse range of projects students undertake. From constructing a board game that teaches specific concepts to tackling social issues like redesigning an old age home, these projects traverse subject boundaries, offering a holistic learning experience. Furthermore, PBL empowers students to practice a variety of transferable skills within each project. For instance, designing the optimal car for a racetrack involves not only problem solving and creative thinking, but also effective communication and collaboration. These projects mirror the skills utilized in real world professional environments, allowing students to cultivate these essential competencies throughout their educational journey. PBL is not just an innovative educational approach, it's a catalyst for transforming the way students engage with the world around them. One of the most significant benefits of PBL is its ability to connect with real-life applications, as I've been giving examples, making education more relevant and impactful for students. For instance, consider Ravi, hypothetically, but based on real students. A student who combined his passion for music and technology in a PBL project. Instead of just learning musical theory, Ravi developed an app that teaches others how to play instruments. This project didn't just enhance his musical and coding skills, it also fostered creativity, problem solving, and an entrepreneurial mindset. Another exemplary PBL project involved students working to protect a local endangered species. This project went well beyond biology lessons. Students engaged in environmental science, policy making, community engagement, and advocacy. They learned valuable lessons about ecology, biodiversity, and the importance of conservation efforts, all while developing a deep sense of responsibility and global citizenship. These examples illustrate how PBL fosters a holistic understanding of subjects by integrating them into meaningful projects. Students learn not just the what, but also the why and how of various concepts, preparing them for the complexities of real world. And we've all asked, why are we learning this? Through PBL, they get the answer right there. We don't actually have to answer that question ourselves. This approach develops not only academic proficiency, but also essential life skills, which we've already mentioned, including communication, leadership, and ethical decision making. Every educator worth their salt agrees that socio-emotional learning, or SEL, is a very important aspect for students today. The PBL methodology is again works very well with SEL. Students, because when they struggle with challenging projects or even deciding which projects to pursue, in the process they will learn valuable lessons in resilience, in teamwork, in dealing with setbacks, self-awareness, and self-regulation, all of which are key components of SEL. PBL benefits are already clear. It prepares students for challenges of the future, providing them tools to think critically, solve problems creatively, and engage with the world in a thoughtful and impactful manner. In the PBL model, older students are expected to produce work that has real life applications, often learning from professionals with practical industry experience. So when a student built an e-commerce website for a client as an intern and got paid for it, not only did he understand the technical skills, but also understood how to understand a client's needs and to effectively address the business aspect of any work that you do. In essence, PBL is about teaching students how to learn effectively, engaging their natural curiosity and passion. It's a method where students internalize essential skills, including the ability to learn content when necessary, which is one of the biggest questions around PBL. That is it going to work? Are they going to be able to learn how to do content? So, PBL is a significant shift in the educational paradigm, but it is not a path without its hurdles. One of the foremost challenges lies in adapting traditional school structure to accommodate PBL's dynamic approach. For instance, traditional grading systems, heavily reliant on content memorization, must evolve to assess skills and creative problem-solving capabilities that PBL fosters. Another crucial challenge is the accurate assessment of individual contributions in collaborative projects. PBL requires a nuanced approach to evaluation, one that recognizes individual efforts within team dynamics. This calls for a well-rounded curriculum that incorporates a variety of projects, allowing educators to form a comprehensive view of each student's skills and abilities. The role of teachers also undergoes a significant transformation in the PBL approach. No longer just disseminators of information, teachers become facilitators and guides in the learning journey. A role that demands ongoing professional development and a new understanding of teaching methodologies. Scheduling poses another huge challenge. Effective PBL often requires extended, uninterrupted periods for deeper engagement, necessitating a rethinking of conventional timetables and curriculum structures. To address these challenges, innovative schools like Acton Academies have successfully integrated PBL into their curriculum. They use a mix of adaptive game-based programs, Socratic discussions, and hands-on projects to cultivate curiosity and foster essential skills. These methods demonstrate that with the right approach, PBL can be an effective and engaging way to learn. At the Maverick Learning Center at Fountainhead School, a PBL center, a fine balance of all these above mentioned elements is visible after 5 years of trial and error. The learnings from the PBL center are now being applied to the rest of the school in the form of PBL units happening across the IB curriculum. While it may be premature to declare this educational model an outright success, the early indicators are promising. Students involved in the PBL have demonstrated equal or superior performance compared to their peers in the more traditional education settings like the exams, a testament to the effectiveness of PBL in fostering deeper understanding, self-learning abilities and skill mastery. While the path to implementing PBL is dotted with challenges, these are not insurmountable. By rethinking the role of educators, restructuring school schedules, and focusing on skill-based learning and assessment, we can harness the full potential of PBL to prepare our students for the ever-evolving demands of 21st century. An education system where students are expected to memorize content from outdated textbooks for the sake of regurgitating that information, for the sake of getting marks in narrowly framed examinations, cannot serve the needs of our youth. It is almost criminal to continue treating students' brains like sponges, expected to soak up information without a drip of critical thinking. The shift brought about by the internet more than 2 decades ago and the recent advent of generative AI has dramatically altered how we work and live, and education must evolve in tandem to remain relevant. Imagine an educational landscape that evolves through 3 distinct phases under the broad framework of project-based learning. In phase 1, the exploration phase, young learners, much like intrepid explorers, navigate the world around them without bias towards subjects or practicalities of implementation. And we know those 7-8-year-olds are completely fearless. This phase, typically up to the age of 10, 11, is about fostering a sense of wonder and uninhibited exploration. Phase 2, the speculation phase, marks the journey of learners till about the age of 14 or 15. Here students, guided by their burgeoning interest and capabilities, begin to speculate on their future paths. Facilitators in this phase transition into guides or skill subject experts offering support and expertise as students navigate through their exploratory projects and internships perhaps. This phase is about choices and discovery, where learners negotiate their paths, inching closer to their area of specialization. The final frontier, phase 3, the specialization phase, sees learners transform into architects of their own educational journey. Here, high schoolers are expected to produce work of real-world value, engaging in apprenticeships under the guidance of professionals with practical industry experience. This phase is about honing skills to solve real-world problems, with students becoming adept at designing and executing projects that have tangible impacts. Realizing this vision of education requires a seismic shift in our approach to admissions and recruitment also for colleges and for companies, moving away from traditional metrics to a more holistic understanding of a student's or a candidate's capabilities and potential. Some progressive colleges recruiters, especially in the IT industry, have indeed started evaluating students far more holistically, reviewing portfolios of their work rather than just their degrees. This is a call to action for educators, parents and policymakers to embrace this change and prepare our learners not just for academic pursuits but also a lifetime of innovation and problem solving. Students, your education is in your hands. Seek out projects that challenge you, that ignite your passions and that connect you to the larger world. The skills you develop through these experiences are the tools you will use to shape your future and the future of our world. Educational systems need to embrace change across the world, not just in India. This metamorphosis is essential if humanity is to equip our young people with the necessary tools to manage all the challenges that they are going to face in the 21st century. Thank you.